Last couple of days, there have been articles in the newspapers by Cowboy owner of the Dallas Cowboys and Jones, Jerry Jones, and he is saying, and his son said yesterday that the players on the Dallas Cowboys would not be able to stay in the team's locker room. Something allowed under the league's revised policy on an anthem. And he's saying if the players don't come out and stand up when they play the national anthem, they will be let go from the team. Now, there has been a lot of, and his son even said exact words that the Cowboys would cut any player who disobeyed the team's policy. Now, there's been some fighting going on between the league and the union for months now about whether the player has to stand for the national anthem, or then they had a solution, sort of a solution, which I don't think it's really a solution, where rather than kneel on the field, you could go into the adult locker room and come out after the national anthem. And supposedly a lot of teams were going to go by that, and supposedly the players' union was going to agree with that. But Jones of Dallas says, I don't care what they agreed to, if he would cut any player who disobeyed the team's policy, and the team's policy is that they cannot remain in the locker room when the anthem is playing. They have to be on the field standing up, not kneeling down. Now, I think this is going to turn into a big fight, frankly, because as we know, there are a couple players here that the people that started this was Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed are in it. They're the ones started the kneeling during the national anthem. And this last year, they went through every team and nobody would give them a job because I guess they don't want the baggage that they bring with them. So I don't know what will happen this year. I've been trying to come up with a theory. I've played some football myself at Clemson, running back, played baseball, and I never really have run into this problem when I was playing. It was just automatic. National anthem, everybody stands up. Nobody goes in the locker room to wait for it to end. So the next question is, if a lot of people are going to go with the union and sort of drop to the wayside, although a lot of the team players have given different answers. Some of them say, yeah, I think we'll go with that. I think Philadelphia said that, and one other one said it, that we will, excuse me,
Gary.
Philadelphia and one other one said that we'll go along with that. If they want to stay in the locker room, they can during the national anthem. And I've been actually thinking so far into the weekend some kind of solution to this, because it's sort of ridiculous, and I think there has to be a solution. And one time we wrote before that of 20 big nations around the world, all 20 of them make you come out before the game and stand up and pledge to whatever their national anthem is, or their country anthem, or something like that. Nobody lets you come out and kneel on the ground. So if these players, and I assume they have other ones, like another guy, this guy with the Rams, offensive lineman Russell Okon, he's questioning about Jones's stance, so that means I assume he wants to stay in the locker room. But I think this has to be settled. It has to be settled immediately. The president says the same thing, and we have to get people out there that want to play, that'll salute the flag, that like the flag, and to do that, we're going to have to make some changes, and we're going to have to make them real quick. First of all, in college, as I know all about the colleges, scholarships, this and that, they can draft players after their third year or after their second year if the pros want to draft them out of college and pay them what they want. I think you're going to have a lot more drafting of the college players after their junior year. That would mean 3 years they're in college. And they would have to show some kind of something on paper that they need money for their family. They can't make it because on a scholarship, you get nothing really. They give you your books, they give you your tuition, and sometimes they give you your laundry money, but they're not going to just hand money. And if your family needs money, they're not eating. They're not worried about you playing football. So after that third year in college, we have to speed up the draft. And if these people want to drop out of the league, the professional football league, or if they're fired because they will not salute the flag, fire them. And then let's go over to the colleges and draft some of these people that's played 3 years in college. And I'm talking about linemen, halfbacks, defense, offense. Let's just start drafting them and put them into the positions that the players that are fired in. Just like these two players that I mentioned before, they've looked all year for a job. Nobody will hire them, although they're good players. But I was trying to figure out some solutions. Another solution would be to these people, to get these people that don't want to pledge to the flag, that want to wait in the locker room, want to kneel. Let's start moving them out to the Canadian League, trading them. Now, I think there's some football going on in Europe too, because they send a lot of basketball players over here now and things like that. But anywhere in the world where there's football going on, send these players there, the ones that won't pledge to the flag. Send them to these foreign countries where they have football and just say, here, you go ahead. This guy, you can sign him up, take over his contract or whatever, because we're firing him from his contract. And I guarantee you from now on in all the contracts, they're going to have a clause saying if you won't pledge allegiance to the flag, the employer can fire you immediately and the contract is over, it's finished, and there's no repercussions on either side. You can't sue them, they can't sue you. You just walk away. When you walk away, you go to one of these other leagues, the Canadian League, European Football League, or some of those places I think in Europe have some football teams now. Go over there. But you're not going to play here, and if another team wants to pick you up, they can, because as I read these articles, I see that some of the owners of some of the other teams are more lenient than Mr. Jones, and they're talking about they'll try to work it out with the players that don't want to pledge allegiance to the flag. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen on this, but I could see that we have to bring it to some type of conclusion now. Right now, we have to start working with the colleges and the pros, and I think we're going to need these college players after 3 years. I know the college coaches are going to say, you're not taking my player, you're not taking my team, you're not taking nobody. But, you know, we have the American way in front of us. I mean, if people aren't going to pledge allegiance to the flag, they're not going to come to the football games. And if some of those college players try that, they're not going to come to those games. So I think this is the most important thing now. We have to get to players that will pledge allegiance to the flag, will uphold the United States government, and whatever it takes, that's what we have to do. Thank you.